Today we're going to share with you 10 simple, practical ways you can simplify your life. Let's do this. Okay, hey folks, welcome back. Thanks for joining us each week. We really appreciate you guys coming along on this journey with us. And today is Ezra's 4th birthday. Say hi! So, simple living, what is it and why do we do it? Quite honestly, I think simple living is a myth. Our life feels pretty complicated most of the time. However, we have really taken intentional steps to minimize the complexity, the clutter, and the chaos that life throws at us. We really desire for our children to live a life that's not filled with the distractions of this world. I mean, there's so much more important things we can be doing with their little precious hearts and minds. And so much of our modern culture today revolves around self and pleasure and things and stuff that we don't need and that might actually take away from our ability to help, love, and serve others. So with that as a foundation, let me show you some of the ways that we keep our life simple. Okay, so I gotta pause real quick and just give a shout out to one of our patrons on Patreon. If you're not familiar with Patreon, this is a service where you can actually pledge to help make our videos come to life each week. One of our Patreon rewards is for you to choose a topic and we'll make a vlog about it. And Latricia Cartwright has asked how we keep our life simple. So thank you, Latricia. This video goes out to you. So Lindsay, how did we come up with this list today?
We sat down and brainstormed the areas that we have struggled with in the past. Of course, these are not cut and dry rules, but just suggestions. And in general, for us, living in a tiny house, we have to be selective about what we allow to come into our life.
Okay, and the first area that we'll touch on is food.
Okay, well, the area of food is one that I'm still trying to work out for our family. And I'm just trying to think, keep it simple. Don't try to come up with these elaborate meals, but just things that are healthy, things that I know they like, that we can always just have on hand. Not worry too much about keeping up with food trends, but just eat healthy, basically.
Next up, clothes and shoes.
We have one pair of Crocs and one pair of boots.
Have you ever wondered to yourself, why does Brackin always wear the same shirt in his vlogs? Because I only have 3 shirts. Okay, so I just realized I have more than 3 shirts, but I also realized that I'm not wearing a lot of them. So right now, I am gonna get rid of some shirts. This blue one, I don't wear. This one's way too hot. This one I reserved for painting, so I should probably put that in my work van. Okay, that's better. Next up is books.
We have a few reference books. We have a few school books. We have a few reading books.
And we have a few reading books in the bedroom for mom and dad, which quite honestly, we just don't read. I need to give a bunch of these away. And now we have children's toys. Okay, this is our living room. It's also our playroom, and all the toys have to fit underneath this table. What you got for us?
We got a box of Legos, a box of trains, and a box of building blocks.
Next up we have gadgets. And this one's almost not fair because I have a 10 by 20 shed chock full of electronic equipment for our recording studio. However, in our house we try to keep it simple, and we have a flashlight, a phone, some walkie-talkies. We've eliminated TV, video games as well, so we try to keep it simple there too. Let's get organized. It's hard to go into it in much detail here because each area of our life has its own little micro-organization. But generally we try to have areas for things, boxes for things. When things come out, they go back. By having a visual and a mental inventory of what's in our house, it helps us not only to find it, but also determine whether or not we need it. For instance, we have the kids' art supplies organized on this shelf here, and I just noticed that we have a box full of old nature magazines that, quite honestly, someone else could probably enjoy. So if you would like these nature magazines for your kids, leave a comment below. I'll choose one lucky person and we'll send them to you in the mail. Next up, paper chaos. Paperwork causes a lot of clutter. So for us, if it doesn't fit in this file folder, then we probably don't need it. We only keep the most important records, insurance files, birth certificates, and things like that. Other than that, everything else is pretty much electronic and online or on the computer. We just don't need paper. I never ever use files. Don't forget about those memories. Box.
There's certain things I just can't part with, like this letter that Brackin wrote to me when we were first dating. So you know, there's those things that such and such a person gave to you that you feel like you should keep, but you really don't want it or need it. It's okay to get rid of those things and just keep the memory of that person alive in your heart. Over the years, I've had to really whittle down. I feel okay about having a small box full. I could probably go through it again.
A word on children.
Don't let your kids be laying around all the time.
If you have children, you probably agree that children like to make a mess. They like to play, they like to get into things, and that's okay. But teach them to clean up after themselves, to be responsible for the messes that they make.
The last area we can simplify is the activities that we do. You know, we don't do a lot of running around. We try to keep things simple with home-based stuff, gardening, playing around the house, helping our neighbors, and just enjoy time together as a family. But today, for Ezra's birthday, I promised I would take him to the local fire department, and we will meet you there. Look at all these trucks, Ezzy. They got lots of trucks.
Yeah.
It's like a real fire department, not a Lego one.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it for this week. We love you guys, and we will see you next time.